Welcome to Brilliantly British. My name is Lawrence, and today I'm going to show you how to make this. This is a Christmas cake, and it is going to be, without a doubt, when you make it, the best Christmas cake you will have ever had. So, with all that being said, and there is a lot more to come, sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe. So far on the Brilliantly British channel, we've introduced you to Batty the Battenberg.
Hello.
Dorsey the apple cake.
Hello.
Parker the Parkin.
Hello.
Victoria the
Hello.
Victoria. And Simi the Simnel.
Hello.
These are some of the best cakes that the UK has to offer.
Oh, thanks.
Nice one.
That's very kind of you.
Cheers.
But today, I'll be showing you how to make one even better.
How dare you?
Never.
Better than us.
You're having a
And
laugh.
who could that be?
Christmas cake. One of the showstoppers that makes an appearance during the festive Christmas period. If this is something you've never heard of, I assure you that it will be an experience when you give this recipe a try. Wow. The cake is fundamentally like no other. Dense, yet moist, and left for weeks on end to mature and develop in flavour, it is one of the best cakes on the planet, and we Brits only eat it at the end of the year. A shame, really. Now, with your curiosity piqued, allow me to show you how to make a Christmas cake. For today's Brilliantly British Christmas cake, you will need the following ingredients in front of me right here. Cranberries, light brown sugar, honey, a lemon, a large orange, candied peel, dried currants, sultanas or raisins, vanilla extract or a vanilla pod, eggs, marzipan, mixed spice, self-raising flour. You will also need some butter, and ideally you want to make Brilliantly British fermented butter. You will also need some flaked almonds and optionally some whole walnuts. But you will also need some brandy, some dark rum, some port, and finally you will need some sherry. That's it for the making of the cake. But before you get started, we'd say brew some tea so you can sip on that whilst you bake. The making of this cake starts at least a day ahead of baking. So, in a large mixing bowl, pour in your mixed peel, your currants, your cranberries, your sultanas. Indulge in a sip of tea before tossing the fruits together. To the bowl, you'll then want to add the zest from an orange, the zest of a lemon, and in parallel, in a jug, the sifted juice of an orange, the sifted juice of a lemon, a splash of brandy, rum, port, and sherry before whisking, inhaling, and adding to your bowl of dried fruit. Finally, mix well, level out to ensure that all the fruits are fully submerged, cover, and then set to one side, allowing the fruit to soak for at least an overnight period. That's it. Continuing from where we left off, in your mixing bowl, tip in your diced room temperature butter, followed by your soft brown sugar. Cream the mixture together with a standing mixer or an electric whisk, or, if you really want to burn some calories, a manual whisk. Once combined with a light golden brown colour, gradually add one egg at a time, adding another after the previous has been incorporated. With all the eggs added, add your vanilla essence, trying of course to avoid making a mess, like I did. With the butter, sugar, eggs and vanilla combined, I'll now say goodbye to my machine in preparation for the next step. And at this point I'll say begin to preheat your oven. In a large bowl, sift in your flour and your mixed spice, mixing the two dry ingredients together before making way for your overnight soaked fruit, which, as you can see, were beautifully aromatic. Now, not getting carried away, pour the fruit and any residual liquid into your creamed emulsion, then homogenize. And to your wet ingredients, finish it off with the adding of your glacé cherries. To combine both wet and dry ingredients, Add the wet to the dry in thirds, folding gently, taking care not to agitate the mixture too much in order to prevent gluten development. Oh, and I can't stress enough how fragrant this cake batter is. But whilst mixing the batter, don't forget to top up on some more tea. The final thing to do before transferring to your cake pan simply involves adding your almonds before delicately folding them in. With the batter made off camera, I greased my round cake tin before lining with parchment on the bottom and on the sides. If you end up having trouble lining the sides, try greasing with a little more butter or scrunching up the paper first to make it more malleable. With the tin lined, gradually, carefully, patiently, delicately, loving, slowly, okay, I'll stop. Pour the batter in the pan, lick your thumb, jiggle the pan to allow the batter to level out within, then waste no time sliding the cake into the oven to bake, low and slow. With so much time on your hands, clean up. No, not like that. Sip on some tea and perhaps pass the time by binge watching some of our episodes. I won't judge. Now look, a word of warning. The baked cake will fill your room with a smell I simply cannot describe and should look like this. The low temperature will have left the cake wonderfully moist and any exposed fruits unscorched. Now, as the cake is, you could eat it, but I'd say leave it to cool completely, in my case overnight. So, I will see you soon. With the cake now cool completely, you can now begin the maturing process that this cake is famous for. So, prepare a jug or bowl and recall the bottles of brandy, rum, port and sherry. In your bowl, pour in a small amount of all 4 of the drinks, then mix together before coming over for a close-up. A Christmas cake, after baking, needs to be fed with alcohol, specifically the cocktail we've just made. And so, to prepare the cake for that cocktail, pierce the cake repeatedly, going no deeper than 2 centimeters. As you spoon feed the cake, make sure that you distribute the alcohol evenly to prevent the occurrence of dry patches. Once fed, wrap up before storing in a cool, dark place, like the back of your cupboard, for a week. But do not, by any means, store this thing in the fridge or the freezer. That would be a disaster. Welcome back. Your cake should be aromatic and heavier than it was last week. But now we're going to make it even heavier by feeding it again. So first, unwrap it, then flip it top side down, as we're going to need to feed it on the other side this time around. With the cake turned over and unwrapped, pierce the cake just like you did a week ago, then transfer back onto the cake tin base before placing onto a sheet of foil. This will prevent any leaks and will keep the cake moist. With the cake secure, evenly distribute the cocktail upon the cake before wrapping with parchment and foil sheets. With it wrapped and noticeably heavier, return the cake to your cupboard to mature for another week. To finish the cake, feed it 2 more times over a period of 2 more weeks. But I will add that you can stop feeding the cake after the second time. If you so happen to stop after the second time, rest assured that the cake will no doubt keep and mature until Christmas. But I'd of course recommend going the full length of 4 weeks, delivering that classic aromatically pungent taste with a dense and yet moist texture. Finally, on the special day, when you're ready to serve, glaze the cake with honey, then dress with marzipan, not forgetting to adorn with walnuts like I almost did, and that's it. You are done. Tasting, tasting, tasting. All right, are you ready? We are going to cut into this cake now, and I'm going to taste it, and I'm going to describe explain, express how rich, moist, dense this thing is. So let's do it. I've got a slice of this amazing cake in my hand right here. So let's do this. 3, 2, 1. Wow. Oh, wait. It's still giving. It's just got waves and waves and waves and waves of flavor. Oh, the more I chew, oh, the alcohol in there just makes everything so aromatic. I can taste every single ingredient in there. The fruits are so juicy. Oh, it's buttery as well, dense, and it's so moist because of the way that this cake has been fed. It's so moist. Oh, and I almost forgot to garnish with walnuts. So the added texture here, beautiful. But you know, I feel something's missing. I wonder what that could be. Can't have cake without tea, of course. So smooth, so satisfying, so refreshing. And now for another slice, another piece of cake. Whatever you do this Christmas, please, please make this cake. Thank you all so much for allowing me to show you how to make your own Christmas cake at home yourselves. I promise you the time and the effort will be worthwhile. With all of that being said, don't forget to click on the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification button so that you don't miss any of our new releases. Tell everyone you know about the Brilliantly British food on this channel, especially stuff like this, and follow us on all social media platforms that this channel is on, and I will see you next time.